Okay, I think we're gonna call the meeting to order. If you please stand for the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Missy, you wanna roll call?
Sure. Libby? Here. Brian?
Here.
Tanya?
Here.
Sean?
Here.
Fritz?
We have a quorum. We are going to make a change to the agenda tonight. Old business, item B for the establishing the registration inspection program for rental housing. We're going to move it to the next meeting. It needs some additional changes to it.
I gotta run.
And then we'll get a conversation, I guess, going at the next meeting with them. So we need a motion to approve the changes for the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the changes for tonight's agenda, deleting old business B.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and we need a motion to approve minutes from March 2nd.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from March 2nd, 2026.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so first up for old business, we have the second reading of Ordinance 2026-3A, amending the 2026 Salary Ordinance to reflect the pay increase for Police Chief Patrick Bratton. Anybody have any questions or comments regarding the ordinance? No, we did not. It's the same. If no questions, then I'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve second reading of ordinance 2026-3A, amending the 2026 salary ordinance to reflect the pay increase for Chief Pat Bratton.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Everybody needs to sign this. Okay, next up, we have Missy to discuss the conversion to BS&A Cloud-based Software for the Clerk-Treasurer and Utility Accounts Payable offices.
Yeah, Joe mentioned this at the last meeting, and I think he and I are gonna tag team this. I just basically ran some numbers from last year on what our software costs were last year versus what it would be with this company with BS&A. And it's literally $234 difference.
Hold on.
And it's gonna be so much more streamlined. I mean, cloud-based, it's gonna be real time. It's gonna be a better customer experience as well. As far as I'm concerned, it's a complete win-win for the employees and our customers.
So it does affect in how you set up the payments and stuff for utilities and everything.
So, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Well, you know, like when you set up the auto pay and everything, because I just think it's so confusing the way it is right now. So
Yes,
it should be a better setup. than that.
Our representative Zane with BS&A was supposed to be on via Zoom tonight, but I can answer that because ironically enough, we were talking about the ease of the use of the system and how much better it would be for us. But then on the flip side, when the customers go to pay online, he said that he's seen I wrote it down. In the first 90 days, he's seen a 60% difference in the paperless billing, like for the better, because it's so much easier to use. Joe, I don't know if you want to speak to any of that or not, but I mean, we're not looking at any significant costs other than we're gonna have training costs. We're gonna have 3 new merchant machines we're gonna have to get for the credit cards. The processing fees for the credit cards are basically going away as far as like what they would charge us for like our batches and running the reports and things like that, because it's all cloud-based, so it's real time, so there's not any of that required.
Who were we with before on merchant processing?
Voice. On merchant machines, we were with, it's called SignaPay.
Okay.
Katie's a rep for Greenfield Bank.
Yeah. See, I never switched, yeah, but
I think
I've
Libby
heard of that.
uses You use them as well, don't you?
What?
Katie with, Signipay? Not anymore? Okay. So we would go through, BS&A's contracted through Stripe. So that's what would be providing the machine.
So is this also what we control the invoicing for the like the water bills and stuff, the problem that we've had there, that's gonna go away? I think,
That gives us more local control.
I was gonna
so we don't
say-
Fix all that stuff.
I think that's been the missing thing, is not
Yeah.
having control over.
And going cloud-based, that's what, everything's going cloud-based anyway. And the more we can get off of our servers, the better we're gonna be.
Yeah,
Eventually, the servers that we have here, we're gonna go cloud-based with those as well. So, yeah, it just seemed like it's streamlined, makes it a lot easier for the gals in the office, in the front and in the clerk's office. Right now, anytime they do a backup, they have to go around and make sure everybody logs off and gets out of the system, so they can do a backup, and, you know, just kind of, it takes a lot of time. And then as far as all the annual reports and stuff like that, and they don't have to print off all that paper, it'll all be there. It's just a lot more streamlined, it's more up to date. And I was thrilled to hear that the price is gonna be, you know, pretty much what we're paying now. So, the reason why we're bringing it to you now is because if we sign a contract, it's gonna be, what do they say, October before?
October for
Yeah.
implementation, and
So it's gonna
then,
take a while.
then training after that, but then if we sign on early, like within the next week, they're also gonna waive the implementation fee, which is pretty hefty. Like almost $39,000 to move everything over from voice to the cloud-based.
It's kind of a no-brainer, but the reason why we're here this evening is, one, to bring you guys up to date on what we're looking to do, and the other is the contract is what? For $30,700?
Yes.
Which is beyond my spending limit. Even though it is, you know, pretty much a wash, we're taking away what we're already paying and replacing it with a new system. But in order to sign up in the contract, you need council's approval to do that.
so since it's cloud-based, so is the storage cloud-based too?
I'm sorry?
Is the storage cloud-based? I mean,
Yes.
we're not storing it here,
Correct.
it'll all be on the cloud, okay?
Correct.
Is that good?
It's supposed to be safer. And I've
Okay.
talked to our IT people, and they're very much in support of it.
Okay,
In fact, they're encouraging us to move everything cloud-based.
yeah,
So,
I know it works better.
yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Comments? Motion?
We need a motion then?
Yeah, if you don't mind, if we're gonna sign the contract, just so we have it for the records.
What's the total dollar amount?
$30,700.
What's the contract for? What's the term?
BS&A Cloud-based
No, I
Software.
mean term, like how long is the contract?
Oh, the term?
Yeah, do you have to re-up it? Is it?
This is an annual fee.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it'll be an annual
Annual.
fee, but the, I believe this is like just, we don't have to sign a contract every year.
Okay.
It automatically renews unless you.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the conversion to BS&A Cloud-based Software for the Clerk-Treasurer's and Utilities Accounts Payable Office for $30,700 yearly.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There you go, thanks guys.
Thank you.
I think it'll be a good switch.
Absolutely.
Okay, so next up we have new business. Council will consider first reading of ordinance 2026-3B, amending the commercial industrial portion of the Mersho South Madison Bonner PUD.
All right, for the record, I'm Adam Zaklikowski, not a very good IT person, but hopefully I can help with the city planning aspect of this. So, for this particular project, if you recall, as part of that Mersho Bonner PUD, it was originally done by Loft Development, and they were originally gonna develop the entire property. However, that project fell through, the PUD remained in place, and then a company called SC Bodner came in and focused on the west half of the project where they're gonna be doing apartments. So in order to do what they desired, they had to amend the PUD to allow for that. And now what's happening is a developer, a different developer bought the east half of that Merchant property from Bodner. So they have a new vision for that property instead of what was originally shown by Loft. So much like Bodner, they have to do this PUD text amendment. So as you can see, instead of doing light industrial, the project is mainly focused on retail, restaurant, office, things of that nature. So you can see there's an updated concept site plan as well as some amendments to the renderings and the PUD standards. So from here, it would go to the Plan Commission for a formal public hearing and for the Plan Commission's recommendation to you all. And the developers on the project, I should say, it's Curtis Irving and Cole Justice. So two local guys that would be doing that project. So with that, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to address them, and they're both in the audience here tonight if you have any questions for them. Thank you.
You guys can come up and say something if you want, if you want to tell us a little bit about the project.
Anyone else do?
Sure.
What do you guys want to say about it?
It's-
All right.
yeah, that's fine.
Well, thank you guys for doing this reading and giving us this opportunity.
Is that on?
You guys hear me?
I don't know if it's on.
There's no red button on the end.
We can't do anything without Andy.
He's the tech guy right here.
Yeah. There it is. It's there. There you go.
So, hello guys, thanks again for reading this and getting this out and sharing our vision. Like you mentioned, I'm Curtis Irving, this is Cole Justice. Basically, we saw the opportunities being local guys driving through here, seeing the signs up, kind of knowing what's kind of going on across the street with the multifamily. So we just kind of felt it close to our heart and community to really put something together that's gonna, something I wanna drive by with my kids and be able to see a nice envisioned, retail commercial development, and, we have some industrial buildings proposed in that back half that we'd like to maybe uplift the face, but also keep it in that back and really have that nice multifamily, nice corridor down to 1,000. That's kind of the whole purpose and intent is to, be local guys here and keep that feel of Fortville, and we're not just gonna be any developer developing to the market, and trying to, just throw something out there that's gonna work for lease rates or whatever, which, in case it needs to be, but we will make sure aesthetically and based off of what we've written in here on amending the PUD that we were gonna stand by and, and architecturally make this a great feel for the community. And that being said, with all the money spent in this corridor, I do feel that, we have strong intentions, we've been reaching out, we have a lot of accelerated people wanting to go in this area, and, the traffic counts and turning it and diverting traffic, there's just so many benefits that I see, especially driving on 67 and being stuck in a traffic light for 30 minutes, and, as well as I do, the ability to turn some of that stuff would be very beneficial for the community, I believe, so, but go ahead and.
Oh,
Yeah,
Cole Justice.
Yes.
He talks a lot, so
Yeah, I think it looks like a great project, guys. I'm real impressed with everything. Excited about it too.
And we feel too, that this getting through and read and passed, we're gonna be able to market on our end quite a bit and spend resources to do that. So, as a community, a grocery or services or needs, this will be a great spot to market. And already having and talking to some as well that are willing to go to this spot. So, knowing what I know now about stuff pushing through this road and multifamily and really going in and, with the help from that, I think it's gonna be a great compliment. And I feel like, we are the right people
to really, give attention to the town and make sure that we're doing everything in accordance for it, so.
I agree.
So is this gonna kind of look ultimately like, what McCordsville had built?
I wouldn't say, McCordsville has more of that really high architecture up front. The way I see it is, yes, like architecturally, the look would look similar to that, but we kind of based on I don't know if the updated renderings are on that, but based off of what, Bonner's proposed for the elevations of some nice fiberboard and batten type stuff, like we're gonna mix that with, 50 to 100% on retail bricks, so we're gonna make it kind of a mix, right? It is Fortville, and McCordsville is a little bit different in the market, so we're mixing that multifamily feel with a nice commercial flow, as you could say. And the industrial buildings proposed will be in the background, so when you're driving down the road going towards 1,000, you're going to be, that attention's going to have that multifamily feel, that neighborhood feel with, a nice industrial in the back. I don't know how well I answered your question, but, So the style's more Old Town feel,
Yeah.
it's not anything super modern. But yeah, that comes with a lot of brick,
You see this picture?
just more appealing.
So it kind of-
Yeah. Mhm. I like this layout so much better than what was proposed to us by Louth anyway. It looks really nice.
Yeah, I think they were dependent on trying to get, one or two big businesses in there, and we know the market, is shifting to, we are having tenants wanting 20,000 square foot at once, which would take one of those buildings almost, so, but that feel and that look is all gonna be similar. And the shared truck dock, that will be all back to back in the back right corner, kind of behind the pool area,
Mhm.
that far corner. So yeah, basically, we're just, soliciting businesses, soliciting it as the whole piece of the pie, because it's gonna be build to suit on the pre-leasing of the market, and I think we can capture a large company to get into one, and then we're gonna probably demise it out on the back end for more contractor or whatever type, single garage use with an uplift in the architecture, allowing for nice landscaping, because he's a great landscaper, he's right here in my house, but, so I know the landscaping is gonna be very thought of when this happens, so, but yeah, that's our vision,
Is what you guys are calling the back, is that, building 7 and 8 on the south end there, or?
Should be building 2 and 3.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be our, I guess you would say industrial building, which would basically just be,
Which backs up
warehouse
to-
office or warehouse in the
Industrial
northeast
park
corner of the
area.
property.
That'll be visible from Broadway.
Mm-mm.
Might
No, this,
drive that turned around then.
yeah, this right here is the back of our industrial park right here.
It's actually back behind where the cell tower's at now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, the worst part about this whole project
Yeah.
is our street department lot back there. It looks horrible, and it's gonna be in their front yard, so.
So we have to put a big fence up.
Some
I don't get it. Any more questions for Curtis and Cole? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for your presentation, that was great. Okay. So I guess we're looking for a motion on the first reading.
I'll make a motion to approve first reading of ordinance 2026-3B, amending the commercial industrial portion of the Mercho-SC Bodnar PUD.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Second part of new business, council will consider first reading of ordinance 2026-3C, a new PUD for the Lakefield mixed-use project near the southeast corner of 1000 North and 400 West.
All right.
Adam?
Again, for the record, Adam Zaklikowski, the planner for the town. I should have said on that last project, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it'll be if the public feels the same way in the planning commission, you guys, I think it'll be a neat project for the town. This other project, I think, will also be potentially a great project for the community as well. So this is located at the southeast corner of Cynthia Ann and 96th Street. And if you recall, we recently did a pretty sizable voluntary annexation, which was that Petty Wright Singh property. That brought in the majority of this land of which this PUD would sit. There's another annexation that's pending right now called the Durack property, but they've signed the paperwork. So we'll just have to put together a timeline and meet the statutory timeline, and we'll be getting that to you all soon. But for this project in particular, I believe this would be the largest planned unit development in town to date. It's about 150 acres, and then the total amount of units, I want to say when you calculate the single family plus the multifamily units, would be just shy of 600. I think it was in the 580s. So it's a pretty big project. It's being spearheaded by Beazer Homes, although they would likely not develop the entire project. They've been very cooperative to work with from a planning perspective. We've been at this for quite a while in trying to get a really interesting layout and to pair that with a mix of product types that will be really nice and will set us apart from Fisher's and McCordsville. First, you'll notice on the land plan that they have, it was done by Weaver Sherman Design, and they were some of the architects that were behind the Village of West Clay project in Carmel. So we wanted to try to, from a planning perspective, have frankly a neo-traditional type of layout rather than a less suburban layout with cul-de-sacs and winding streets, something that felt more like a village. So, and that's really reflected quite a bit in the design that you see. Also, there's a huge pond that is there. One of the challenges of this property is that they do have to store a lot of stormwater on their property, so it can make development challenging. And there have been other developers in the past that have looked at this property, and that's always been a challenge. I think in this case, we've got a solution that works out well. I should say right at the hard corner, there's some opportunities for some commercial. As I mentioned, there's also some multifamily, and then they've got a few different single-family product that's in there. And then lastly, in terms of the development standards, I think there's a few details that we're going to continue to work on and perfect, but they are the standards are modeled after that Fortville PUD ordinance that took effect back in 2017. So already in many cases they either meet or exceed some of those standards. So one of the things that we'll have to talk about is a public safety and town donation. One of those things that, and I had put a number out there. I think it may have been a little bit too high for what they were willing to go with, but we'll continue to work on these things, and the hope is that by the time it gets to Plan Commission later this month, we'll have a perfected project that the public can weigh in on and see what the Plan Commission thinks. So with that, if you have any questions, I'm happy to take those, and then representatives from Beazer are here as well. Thank you.
There's no example, yeah, there's an example of multifamily. So they have garages on the backside, or is this, they have townhomes and multifamily?
Yeah, it is a mix. So,
And that's what's up front, corners at Cynthia Ann and 96th Street.
right, so, this townhome product called the Lakefield Towns, is what you would see on that southeast corner. And so anywhere where you see the garages like that, that would be, behind the units in the rear.
Okay. So it's a 3-story townhome.
Correct.
Would you say there was gonna be a 600 people or units?
Yeah, I wanna say there was, 582. Sorry, I didn't write it down. The text is a little blurry, but,
So with that number,
they can speak to it though as well.
so with that number of people and then with this light industrial, that we just approved, do we know how that, I guess, is ultimately gonna affect, utility as far as, power grids, sewer, water, kind of where are we at with capacity on all that stuff?
Yeah, I can defer to Joe for some of the sewer and water basic information if you wanted to.
Get on
Yeah.
power grid and stuff too.
As you know, we just got done updating our water treatment plant, so we're good on capacity there. There's a couple other subdivisions that's looking to build quite a few units as well, so probably here in the next few years, we're gonna need to add another filter, maybe drill another well for the water. But we've known that all along, so, you know, these projects will just help pay for that. And the sewer capacity, we're still good there as well, but we may end up having to add on a little bit at the sewage treatment plant, maybe the rings around the digester. And we're looking to put in that regional lift station out on 925. And we were looking to tie the force main into the gravity line at 300 West and the railroad. If this project comes on pretty quick, we may decide to go ahead and take that force main all the way to the plant. That way we'll maintain some of the capacity in the line that they'll be connecting onto. So we're keeping an eye on it.
Do we know anything about like power grid capacity and stuff like that?
That'll be Duke out in that area.
Okay.
Duke or 9-Star.
So how do we get that information then?
They should
Check
have
it.
that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we've not checked the power capacity yet, but we can for the next reading.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Matt Cunningham, I'm with Beazer Homes.
Okay.
So we're really excited about the project. Rob Montgomery, our division president, he grew up in Fortville. You know, we really set out to be very intentional when we designed the project to align with the comprehensive plan and your guys' growth goals. That's why we incorporated the commercial corner, the multifamily, and then we kind of go from density to less dense as you go from west to east of the project. So we have the estate lots on the right side of the large ponds, and then as you go more towards the multifamily, it gets denser. There's only 20 townhome units in the plan. We want to kind of create a buffer between the multifamily and the single-family residential. The single-family residential, as you can see on the concept plans, kind of, you know, really wrapped around these two large ponds, and they comprise almost 30 acres of drainage. And so we wanted to kind of use that challenge as an opportunity to create kind of different community that will have a unique feel. So we put a large centralized amenity in the center there that'll have a pool, playground, sports courts, and all connected with walking paths. So we think it'll be a great community. It'll have a lot of different housing options from rentals to senior focused ranches to larger 3-car garage type of homes. So we're really excited about the project and happy to answer any questions you have.
is a big project.
So is this something we throw in the 12-month?
Yeah, and I think Adam's probably working on that, you know, the rental thing that we've been discussing for so long. Has that been brought up with this PUD at all?
In terms of a
Limit?
limit, I'd have to see if it was in the comments that we had. I don't recall. Did we have restriction on rentals?
We restrict, rentals in all of our communities in the HOA docs, but, that's something Adam and I will have to work through to incorporate into the PUD, just to make sure we're aligned.
Okay.
And one of the reasons for the size of the project is because of the drainage challenges. If we were to look at one of the individual parcels by themselves, it's real challenging to make it work. But by combining the petty and dirt pieces, you're kind of able to overcome those drainage challenges.
I appreciate you wanting to take the challenge on, because it definitely has discouraged others.
Can you remind us how many units there were out there?
Just over 600, so 620, and some of that will vary based upon what a future multifamily partner wants to take through. So we have 288 units in the PUD, but what someone ultimately plans to do there, they may go less than that.
Yes, I have a home on water.
Yeah. Any questions, comments? Okay. Want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve first reading of ordinance 2026-3C, the new PUD for Lakefield mixed-use project near southeast corner of 1000 North and 400 West.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
When does this go to planning commission then?
So this month,
This month?
it'll be the last Tuesday. I believe it's March 31st at 6:30 p.m.
Okay. Okay, next up, we have Joe.
Okay, I don't have a whole lot for you this evening, but I did want to let you know that we received the Arbor Day Award again from Tree City USA, excuse me. This will be our 21st year. We started this, I believe in '06, and it was turned over to Heath back in 17 when he came on, and he's continued to keep that designation for us, so appreciate that. Reynolds, I've talked with them about the Landmark Park. They're still trying to get their prices pinned down. He assured me he would have those. He's thinking the end of the week, but he said by the end of the month for sure he'll have numbers so we can look at that and move forward with it.
It's taken a long time.
It is. It's taken a long time. But that's all I have for you this evening, unless you have anything for me.
Was there any more talk about taking our water across 400? Has that happened anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still talking with those developers. In fact, there's, I think, 3 different developers we're talking to now.
Okay. Adam, you have anything else for us?
No, nothing for me unless you have questions or anything.
I don't have anything. Keith? Good to see you.
Welcome back, Brett. Heath Luther, Parks Manager for the record. I just got a few things. Received the edits back from the DNR for the Master Parks Plan. Been working through those with the consulting company. He should be putting the final package together that I can get out and we can get on the website. That'll be kind of the quote-unquote final draft. That'll give everybody a few weeks to look at it. Alex isn't here tonight, but we'll probably have a resolution put in place for the next council meeting for you guys. So between now and then, once it gets put up, please make sure that we're taking a look at it. It'll be public. We've already had the public meetings per se, so there wasn't a ton of like major changes. There were just some wording things that the DNR representative wanted to see, and then we kind of went back and revamped the capital improvement project plan to reflect obviously some of the things that we've already been able to accomplish, and some of the stuff, for example, like Landmark Park that was originally on there that we're now working through, doesn't need to be on there, right? Because we're already planning on working through all of that. And it was broken down a little bit differently now from sustainable projects, things such as like replacing shelter house, the outdoor shelters, the outdoor restroom, those types of things, to expanding services projects, which would be something like turning the old Boys and Girls Club room into a community fitness center that would expand services to a broader range, senior events, those types of things, and then visionary projects, which are the major kind of wish list items if we were to ever come across a ton of money, right? But having those in place, that if we do have the ability to find grants and or developer comes in or something happens that we can, capitalize on that kind of stuff. It'd be things such as a complete trails program, possibly a splash pad. Those kinds of things will be listed in kind of the visionary items of the master parks plan. So plan on that for the next council meeting. As Joe mentioned, we were Tree City again. We will also have on that next meeting the annual proclamation that you get to read every year. And then I know Joe is working through some fee schedule stuff. I know Adam had some things taken off. We do as well, some old stuff on our fee schedule that he's gonna work through. Until the time comes that we have the ability to maybe have the funds to convert that Boys and Girls Club room into maybe a community fitness center. I would like to be able to add to the fee schedule that could be rented until then. Right now, we've had people ask, but we can't really do it because we don't have it in our fee schedule. So look for that change, hopefully when we get this fee schedule stuff kind of tightened up. So that's all I have, unless anybody's got any questions for me.
If you do a fitness center, isn't there companies they'll actually outfit a fitness center for
Yeah, so I went through a
little to
very
no money?
in-depth kind of cost analysis of that. We're probably looking at about $100,000 to be able to outfit that. If we were to do it all ourselves, and doing some research, we can get some refurbished stuff from some of those major companies. There's probably gonna be some grants and things available as well. So we'll definitely, that is on the list of things that we're looking at doing. But in the meantime, until that stuff comes to fruition, I would love to be able to have the ability to rent that out. We just had all the floors redone all through the community center. And so again, had somebody in there this morning that was, man, that'd be a nice room to have. So I think we're missing a little bit of an opportunity right there during this transition period. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Pat?
I just want to thank the commission and the council for their work in changing the salary ordinance. I appreciate it. I know that sometimes it's a headache, but I do really appreciate it. Other than that, I don't have anything. Talking a lot of houses, so I've got to really look at the budget for next year for seeing where cops are going to be.
Yeah, you already got it turned, right?
The brain has
I can
started
see
to
it.
click. The
Sparks are
smoke, the
flying.
smoke's coming out soon. So that's all I have.
Missy, you have anything else for us?
No,
No.
it's just something for me.
Tyler, do you have anything for Alex? Okay. Any public comment? Okay. Council comments? I've said enough. I need a motion to approve the bank vouchers, please.
I'll make a motion to approve and sign vouchers.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:31.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for waiting.
Thanks, guys.
Go Ryan, run. Yeah. Get some.
Yeah.